First off, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. What great support, and we feel and appreciate everybody that's coming out and supporting us, and especially this time of year when students are off campus and all that kind of stuff. So appreciate that. I really was impressed with David DeJulius tonight. Guys, Antoine Davis is a really good player. I mean, a really good player. He's seen about everything you can throw at him. And I thought David did as good of a job as you can do on him in the possessions that he guarded, which was the majority of the game. I can't imagine a lot of people hold him under 17. And a lot of that 17 wasn't with Dave guarding him too. And so, tip my cap to David. That was really fun to watch. And that's the kind of competitive spirit that if he can continue to have on both ends, that is going to really impact our team. But he was tremendous tonight. Victor, 18 and 15. Like I'm sitting there and I'm coaching every detail of what he's not doing, and then you look down, he's got 18 and 15. And I say that because I think he's still just scratching the surface how good he can be. But he was really effective tonight. And that said, the zone stagnated us. Give Mike credit. We didn't practice a whole lot against zone. We need to get back in the gym and work a little bit, which we will. But there were stagnant times. I do think we missed some shots early. Like Dave missed some good ones. Jeremiah's not going to go 2 for 12 too often, and I thought he had really quality looks. I thought Shuey missed one in the corner open. Dan missed one in the corner. I mean, we missed some shots early, and there was times that I didn't like our possessions in the half court, especially in the last 10 minutes of the game. But all that said, you defend like that as a team, you're going to feel pretty good about it from my perspective. 43-40 on the board. And finally, we win the board, but I will tell you, I'm not happy about it. We got a lot of work to do on the backboards. This should be a great rebounding team, and we have not been what we need to be here the last couple weeks. But it's good to finally at least win the board after the last couple games. Anyway, all right, hope that covered enough, but what do you guys got?
Can you tell us about this feud with Victor Locken and Jalen Stowe? Because Vic told us he sent a message today and said, "I hate you, Stowe."
I hate you, Stowe. He yells at me, I can't go back.
Jalen Stowe is going to be a great young coach, and he's done a terrific job as a graduate assistant. I have no idea what they're talking about. But I think the world of Jalen Stowe. I coached against Jalen Stowe for 4 years during his time at Mercer, and thought enough of him to hire him, not because of how great a player he was, even though he'd tell you he was a great player, because of the kind of player he was. He was a winner and a team first guy, and those are the kind of people that maybe don't get recognized quite a bit, but there's so many people behind the scenes that do so much for our program and our graduate assistants, and 2 of the 3 of them played for me, and Abdul Adu and Malik Massey. But Jalen's now kind of feels like one of my former players. He's going to be a terrific young coach. But I have no idea what Vic is talking about other than Jalen's doing a great job for us.
I think it was that Jalen put some work on him in practice yesterday, and Vic wasn't happy about
it. Next question.
You got 16 combined from Jeremiah and Odie. That 4 spot has kind of been something it seems like you're trying to find the perfect mix there. Do you feel like you're getting closer offensively and defensively with where you're at the 4? Even though Odie played some 5 tonight too, I thought I saw.
I do. I really liked when we play those guys together, and I did think Jeremiah, even though you look down, he shot 2 for 12. I thought he was playing well tonight in the first half, especially. So we looked at it, the way the game flow was, the way the teams matched up. We kind of felt that the big lineup wasn't as effective tonight as maybe it's been in other games. And so in the second half, Jared gets those minutes alongside, Jeremiah, and we just kind of go 1 in, 1 out at the 5 with Vic and Odie. So we now kind of have a better feel for how to play with different lineups on the floor, because we practice that a lot now. And we also have the ability to kind of mix and match game to game, and that was a conversation we were having on the bench all night.
Not that it's always going to be 18 and 15 or 8 for 10 from the field, but do you feel like Vic's starting to get to the point where this is going to be what he is night in, night out consistently?
I think he's capable. I do. Guys, you're just seeing like a tip of the iceberg of what Vic is capable of. Man, I think Vic can play anywhere in the world. I think he's got that within him. Now he's gonna have to continue to grow and develop to get that all out of him. But he's improving at a rapid rate. Everybody knows that. And I think he's just getting started. He's such a great young man, and he has a great work ethic, and he's really committed. So, God willing, I think he'll continue to grow.
The conference slate is done, the non-conference slate. As you're looking back at these few games, where do you stand as far as your outlook and the growth of this team, and as far as where you're headed in the AAC play?
Well, I thought the first 3 weeks of the season were frustrating. We're trying to, you lose a couple pieces, you're trying to figure out rotations, and you don't want to do that. You want to figure that out in the preseason. And I thought we were trying to kind of find our identity. I didn't think we were defending. We were sharing the ball. And so we were really kind of just working through some things the first 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm not making an excuse. I was frustrated. Our team was frustrated. Over the last, 2-3 weeks since we got back from Maui, I felt like we've started to establish our identity as a team. We've had more purpose in practice. We're figuring out roles and rotations and where we fit. And I do think we've grown a lot in the last 3 weeks. But as you mentioned, Keith, non-conference is over and it gets real when league play starts. So I do like our improvement here the last 3 weeks. But that doesn't guarantee anything. We get back, we have to keep growing, and we're going to have to take this up another level to compete the way that we want in the American.
Wes, took 35 minutes to get to the free throw line for you guys tonight. Is that more just lack of aggression, or is it something where like the refs were just kind of being a little more lenient with play, or?
No, I think we got to the line really well in our last game. It is something that is important. We got to attack the rim more. Tonight against the zone, we did not get the ball inside well, something we were talking about in huddles and timeouts. And I think it's 2 things. It's one, we got to get our guys to look inside and be in position better and kind of our flow against the zone. And then the design of our action against zone has to be better from our standpoint as coaches. We got to get the ball inside more. Offensively, against man, against zone, we have to do it, and we got to put more pressure on the rim so that we can put fouls on people.
And then, just real quick, so Landers tonight, I know I didn't have the night of shooting you guys expect from him, but 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, obviously kind of picked up everything we left off. How big was he for you guys tonight down the stretch?
9 rebounds, I love it. He's another guy. His ability as a player is so much greater than shooting the ball. He's 6'8". He's big boy, long, strong, powerful, athletic, great instincts, and he's just starting to kind of figure out how to impact the game in other ways other than shooting. He sees the floor extremely well. He's a better passer. He's becoming a better defender. And one of the areas I've been really challenging him on is to be more impactful on the board, especially the offensive board. I think he's like Vic. I think his ceiling's really high, and he's been working his tail off and been really coachable. I think if that continues, he's going to be able to impact the game in other ways other than shooting, and we do know how well he shoots it.
Only 4 turnovers tonight for you. I know you look at 11 or 12 and think that's too high. 4, where do you want them to be?
Yeah, I like 4 turns, 16-4. I like that, no doubt. Now let's put it in perspective. They're playing zone the whole game. There's not a lot of pressure, but 4 turnovers is 4 turnovers over 40 minutes, and that part you do like.
David on Davis, did he want that assignment? Did you guys feel like that would be best from a team perspective? How did that come together?
Yeah, I think both. I think we felt like he's the best guy to defeat screens on the ball, defeat screens off the ball, to get underneath them a little bit. And yeah, I think David was excited. He gets excited for big defensive assignments.
You have the luxury of having your 4th guard, I guess 3rd now that Rob's out, being a dynamic player in CJ. How beneficial was that this week as you're preparing for a guy like Antoine?
Yeah, that's a great question. CJ was Antoine Davis in practice the last 2 days, and 2 things, because I've spent 2 years in North Carolina on the scout team. And when you get to be somebody like Antoine Davis, it's fun. And he had a lot of fun with it. So that was fun to see him enjoy it, but he did a terrific job. And he is dynamic and, as we talked about, good enough to get into these games. And he helped, and not just him, but the scout team. They did a really nice job of helping us prepare for this game.
Did JD ask if you could be Antoine Davis for a little bit in practice?
No, JD wanted to be on the main team, trust me.
JD, team high 5 assists tonight, was seemingly kind of looking for that quick extra pass when maybe he would shoot in other situations, most assists since the win over Louisville. What do you think of his playmaking?
I think that I've been really pleased with how he's trying to play the right way here over the last week or so. Like, there's a concerted effort to try to play the right way. And, you know, you want when guys do that to all of a sudden they also score at a high rate, because I do believe that's how it works over time. And so I hate that he, you know, it's the one night that he doesn't shoot it well. But if he continues to play like that, it's going to give our team and him the best chance to play. And I, by the way, Dan Skillings is, you know, he's 1 for 7 tonight, but he's really made a concerted effort to play the right way. And when he comes in the game, the ball's moving better. You know, there's a couple possessions tonight. We get a layup in transition because he just makes a simple play across the floor in transition. You know, we get a swing around the horn and Shuey ends up driving a closeout and gets a layup, but it's because he put pressure on the drive. Saul too, just made the simple play. So I think like Dan and Jeremiah are really, really playing the right way offensively for us, and that's making our team better offensively.
2 more questions? We good? All right. Thank you.